Right guys, so now I'm ready to layer my pasta and my lasagna. And remember, I did say to you that I make a huge batch, and I'm actually making one for my neighbor as well. So I've got a little one for her, and then I've got two larger dishes, one of which I'll put in the freezer and one of which we'll have today. So there are different ways of layering pasta, layering lasagna. This is my favorite way, but you can do it with you can do it in any way as long as you do your layers the same each time. So if you're going to do a bit of sauce, bit of pasta, bit of white sauce, then go ahead and do it that way, but always do it the same way. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take just a spoon, and it's going to be a scant spoon. So in other words, I don't want a lot of sauce at the bottom, on the bottom layer, and you'll see why now in a minute. So I'm literally just going to cover the bottom just like that, right? The other layers are going to be different. And then I'm going to get my pasta sheets, and I'm just going to neaten this one up. Right, and then what I'm going to do is I do it this way just so that I can roughly see how big my dish is. And I'm going to slice, and I'm going to put my layer of pasta. Now you're going to slightly overlap, and I'm going to do that again. And guys, don't worry about this too much. You know, if I was using pasta sheets, I would just break them and just put them in. So now it just means that I start with a layer of pasta, because I actually quite like having a lot of pasta, so I try and fit in as many layers as I can. So now I'm going to start the layers as I'm going to repeat them, and that is with ragu, pasta, white sauce, and we're going to do that together as I go along. Right, so I'm going to take another spoonful of my sauce, and this time I'm going to do more of a substantial layer. Again guys, not too much, because remember, you're building up layers here, and each layer is going to have meat, so you don't actually have to have a huge layer of meat. So my first two layers are going to be the same, and I'm going to pop. And again guys, this is just the way I like to do it. You can layer it in different ways if you want to. And get some of that flour up. Pop that over. And remember to overlap guys, because you want your pasta to be nice and cover everything that you want it to cover. So I'm actually going to make my next layers a little bit bigger so that I can tuck them down the sides here. Right, so now that's exactly how I started, but now I'm going to add my white sauce. Oops, I let my white sauce get cold, so it's it's formed a layer of skin. It's not a problem guys, but you just, and I'm going to pop some white sauce over. Now guys, it's a Western thing to use a cheese sauce for lasagna, so you could add some cheese to the sauce if you wanted to, but to be honest, you really should add the cheese separately, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. So you've done that, and then I've got some parmesan, however you want to say that, and sprinkle a little over, sparingly guys, it doesn't have to be a lot. Right, and then I'm going to start my layers again. So meat, pasta, white sauce, meat, pasta, white sauce, and cheese. All right, and I'm going to keep doing that until I have all my layers. Right, so I'm on my last layer of my layering of my lasagna. So I'm just going to show you how I finish mine off. And that's going to go on. Alright guys, so this is how I like to finish off my lasagna. And again, it's all up to personal preference guys, so whatever you like. Make sure you cover the edges of the pasta, although I like the crunchy bits on the edges. So it's, again, it's just up to you what you like. Right, nice layer on the top. Right, so now I've got my cheeses here again, and I'm going to just sprinkle a little layer of Parmesan. Now, like guys, my boys don't really like Parmesan, so I use it very sparingly, but my husband and I love it, so I do put a little bit of it in. But what they do like is mozzarella, and I also like the fact that when you cut into the lasagna, it makes those stringy little bits, so I always put mozzarella over the top of mine. Now there's one thing, if you want to, you can dot little bits of butter over the top as well, but I find, because I've used full cream milk in the bechamel, I've used full cream milk inside the lasagna, and I've used there's a lot of fat when you start frying all the vegetables, if you can remember back to the ragu, so I don't add any butter on the top of mine, just purely because I think there's enough. So I'm going to pop this into the oven now until it's lovely golden brown on top and bubbly. It will take about 25-30 minutes, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like then. Alright guys, no fancy presentation today, but I have served it with a side salad, and that's our lasagna. Really delicious, everything made from scratch, the ragu, the white sauce, as well as the pasta. Enjoy, please try it, let me know how it goes.